Have you ever read another fic and immediately felt worse about your own writing? The fic didn't do anything wrong, right? That's not the problem. The problem is, it was good. The scenes are immaculate. The character choices make sense. And the author somehow knows exactly when to hold back, when to reveal something, and when to end the chapter in that way that makes you immediately want to click that next chapter button. Then you go back to your own draft, and now the chapter you were working on looks a lot less exciting. It looks basic now, boring and underwhelming. Not nearly as well written as that other person's story you just read. And now instead of writing, you're just sitting there thinking to yourself, why can't I write like that? How do I get the amount of comments that they do? And before you know it, you found yourself comparing your one chapter to their fully developed fic. You're taking another writer's work and using it as evidence to tell you that your own fic isn't good enough. That doesn't feel good at all. So today, I want to talk about how to stop comparing your fanfic to other writers. Or more realistically, how to compare in a much healthier way that doesn't make you want to give up writing and never touch your fic again. I don't think the point is to never notice what other writers are doing, because honestly, that's just not realistic. We're in fandom. We read, we scroll, we see stats, we comment, we see popular fics and popular writers. Comparison is naturally going to happen. But the real question is, can you notice another writer's work without turning it into a reason to give up on your own? Hi, I'm April and welcome back to my archives. This channel is a space for fanfic writers who want to write more, stress less, and better understand the psychology of creating stories online. And today we're talking about comparison, specifically how to stop letting other writers' fic stats, writing style, comments, and progress convince you that your own writing is somehow behind, embarrassing, and not worth continuing. Because we should all know comparison is not always bad. A lot of times reading a great fic can really inspire you. I mean, that's how I began writing. Other fics can teach you things and remind you why you first started writing in the first place. But when comparison turns into self-punishment, that's when it starts to become a problem. So let's talk about how to interrupt that spiral and get you back to writing your own fic with a healthy dose of inspiration and not complete dread. The first thing we need to admit is that fan fiction makes comparison very easy. It's not just you being dramatic. The environment is basically built for it. You're not only reading other people's writing, you're seeing the numbers, big and small, the hits, the kudos, bookmarks, comments, subscriptions, word counts, how many works someone has posted, how many readers are partying in their comment section, how fast they write, how well they write, how often they update, how many fandoms they seem to effortlessly juggle while you can only handle one story at a time. There is a lot to compare, and because all of that information is visible, it could start to feel like everyone else has clear proof that they are succeeding, while your own fic is sitting there asking if it should even be invited to the party. But those numbers and signals do not tell the full story. They don't tell you how long that person has been writing. They don't tell you how many drafts they've been through. They don't tell you if they picked a huge fandom to write for, or if they just happened to post at the perfect time. They don't tell you how many old fics they abandoned, deleted, rewrote, or just never posted at all. And they certainly do not tell you how many times that writer stared at their own draft and thought, wow, this is terrible. Because yes, they probably have. We all have at some point and probably still do. Even the writers you most admire have struggled with their writing. You just don't always see that part. You just see the finished chapter and the comments after people have already responded to it. You see the public version of the work and not the messy process behind it. So when you compare your writing life to theirs, just keep in mind, you are not seeing the entire picture. You are seeing a very specific slice of it, the highly edited and settled version. I mean, I want to be honest, just like these YouTube videos, I am dealing with construction outside every day. You guys don't know how many times I have to pause and repeat myself because you hear a high-pitched beep or a crash or just distractions in the background. I edit to the best of my ability, so you don't have to deal with that. So yeah, you may see things that look really inspiring and hella impressive online, but it is not enough information to declare that you are failing at writing your own fic. I can tell you now that you're not. The second thing to remember is that you're probably not just comparing your own talent to others. You might just be comparing the stages that you're in. And this is one of the biggest traps for newer writers, returning writers, or anyone who is trying to rebuild their confidence. You might read someone else's story and think, well, I guess they're just better than me, which is just too simple of a thought. While yes, it is possible that some writers may be more naturally skilled than others, a lot of that skill comes from experience. Maybe they've been writing for 10 10 years. Other styles of creating writing, maybe nonfiction writing, poems, anything. Maybe this is the 13th fic they've ever written, or the 40th. Maybe they've already learned to handle things that you are still learning, and passed the awkward phase a little bit faster than you did. None of that means you're hopeless. It just means that you're in different stages in your writing experience. Your chapter 3 is allowed to look like chapter 3. It doesn't need to look like someone else's chapter 350. And look, I know that sounds super obvious, but when you are reading someone else's completely edited work, it's very easy to forget that skill has history. Nobody just randomly wakes up one day with sharp dialogue, strong endings, great tags, and the ability to make every scene feel like it belongs exactly where it is. That comes from practice, and a lot of that practice probably looked very awkward in the beginning. There were probably old writing choices they made in the past that they would not make now. You just don't see those because you're an outsider. So if you're comparing your early work to someone's developed skill, it's going to feel unfair. But that doesn't mean that you cannot learn from them. It just means that you cannot use them as a weapon against yourself. I've mentioned the concept of comparison and jealousy on this channel a few times now, and how jealousy specifically can be a good thing. I'm not saying that you have to be jealous of other people's fics, but if you are, pay attention to it, because number one, it is a natural human emotion. But also number two, if you do pay attention to it, it shows you what you want or where you want to be. And what you do with that information can help you grow further or just keep you stuck in a negative cycle. So listen to what jealousy is trying to tell you, and listen to what comparison is trying to tell you. It's not really about why am I not as good as them. It's about being patient and learning. What are they doing well that I would like to practice? That shifts the whole perspective from something negative and kind of pointless into something useful and wise. Instead of comparison being proof that you are behind, it becomes information. If you love the way a writer writes dialogue, study the dialogue as you read. If you love their pacing, take notes of where their scene starts and ends. If you love their characterization, notice how they show a character's choices, reactions, habits, and contradictions. This is how you learn, and it's something every writer does and have to do if they want to become better at their craft. Being open-minded and learning from someone ahead of you is very different from just sitting there telling yourself that you'll never be good enough. So please wake up from your spiral and stand up. You got this. The third thing I want to talk about is statistics, because a lot of comparison in fan fiction is not just about the writing itself. It's also about the response. You see another fic with more kudos, more comments, more bookmarks, and more hits, and your brain immediately starts doing math it was never qualified or prepared to do. This fic has more comments, so it must be better, right? This writer gets more attention, so people must care about their work more than mine. My fic has fewer kudos, so maybe it's actually not good at all. And I get why that happens. I really do. It's because the stats are visible. It makes it easy to compare everything you've written to others' works, more established or not. It feels like real evidence because seeing numbers makes everything feel more real and more important. But fanfic stats are not a clean measure of quality because they are affected by so many things. The fandom size, the ship popularity, trope type, timing, tag use, whether the fic is complete or not, if it's a series or a one-shot, if it contains smut or if it doesn't, whether the writer already has a long established reader base, whether the fandom is even active right now, if people are searching for that exact kind of story, or whether the stars aligned and the AO3 gods smiled down upon them today. A fic can be beautifully written and still not get much attention because it's for a smaller fandom. It's a rare pair, it's a niche trope, or it just happens to have a quieter, less engaged audience. And a fic can get a lot of attention for reasons that have nothing to do with it being objectively better than yours. That does not mean that popular fics are undeserving, because they are. A lot of popular fics are popular because they are good, or they're exactly what the reader base wanted. They found their audience and their audience found them. But the reverse also isn't true either. A quieter, less popular fic is not automatically bad. Less visible does not mean less valuable. Fewer comments does not mean no one cared at all. Lower stats doesn't mean that the story failed. Stats can only show you that people found and responded to a fic. They can never tell you the full worth of a story, and they definitely should not dictate whether you should keep writing or not. That choice is always up to you. If you let numbers become the only proof that your writing matters, you will constantly be handing your confidence to something you cannot fully control. And that's just not sustainable for your writing life. So yes, please do enjoy your stats when they're good. Celebrate the comments and kudos, the likes and the shares. Let your readers' responses encourage you, but don't let someone else's success bring you down. That is completely separate from your own journey. So just hang in there. The fourth thing that can help you is learning how to separate admiration from self-punishment. Because sometimes the reason why comparison hurts is because you actually do admire the writer. And that's really awesome. We all have writers that we love. You think they're amazing and they're so talented, and you can see why readers respond to them. And instead of just letting that be a good thing, your brain immediately asks, why am I not like this? Should I be more like them? Why can't I write like them? Admiration does not have to become an attack on your own work. You have to set boundaries with your brain sometimes and tell it to cut it out when it tries to turn everything into a negative situation. It's trying to protect you, but at the same time, it could hold you back by doing that. You can admire another writer's work without deciding your fic is embarrassing. You can enjoy someone else's writing style without trying to change yours. You can learn from a writer without making them the standard you have to become before your own writing is allowed to be considered good. A practical thing you can do when comparison hits is start asking yourself, what exactly is it that I like about their writing? It's not just because they're better. That's just way too vague of an excuse. And I say this with much love, it's also lazy thinking. We all do it from time to time, but it never helps. Get specific and ask some real questions. Do you like the way they write dialogue? Do you like the way their chapters end? Do you like how quickly they get into a scene? Once you identify what you admire, you can turn that into something useful, not by copying them per se, but by practicing those skills yourself. For example, try studying how much their characters say directly versus indirectly. Look at the mannerisms and little tics they have that make you understand their character more and why it is that they do that. If you love their descriptions, notice what details they chose and what other ones they skipped. How they write a setting without making it too overwhelming and confusing. And if you love how they end their chapters, study what kind of question or feeling it leaves you with. Taking notes of the things you love about someone else's fic instead of being sad that you cannot write like them is a more productive thing to do because it actually helps you further your skills. That is how you let another writer teach you something without letting them become the reason you give up writing. You also want to be careful of not abandoning your own voice too early. This happens a lot when comparing writing styles. Maybe you read someone else's fic who had beautiful prose, and now your much simpler writing style feels boring and not good enough. Or you read a story that has sharp, funny dialogue, but your fic is much slower and more emotional. There is nothing wrong with trying new styles if you want. Experimenting with your own writing is always a great thing to do. It's part of how you grow. But there is a difference between learning from another writer and trying to replace your own natural instincts with theirs. Your voice develops through use. It needs time and repetition. It needs those awkward phases as you figure out how to write sentences and paragraphs and how to wrap up your chapters better. It needs you to write enough that you start recognizing what feels like you. And that may take a moment. I think it was about 20 or so chapters into my first fanfic when I started paying attention that a lot of readers were telling me that they loved my writing style. And I was really confused because number one, I didn't really know what my writing style was because I was so immersed in the story myself that I hadn't reread a lot of my own work yet. I was just writing and writing and writing. Wasn't paying attention to much else. And number two, I was still in the mindset of, oh, this is just silly. It can't be that good. What do you mean writing style? So I didn't really fully believe them until years later, and now I can see exactly what they were talking about. Some readers love the flow of your stories and your words. Long or short sentences, formal or informal writing. It's all subjective, honestly. And that's what makes writing so cool. It's a free form of expression you can do so naturally. So if you keep trying to sound like every writer you've ever admired, you may never give your own voice its own space to develop. Sometimes what you think is boring in your own writing is just clear for the readers to understand. What you think is too simple could be very enjoyable for them. And what you think is not impressive enough is the exact thing that makes your writing easy to connect with. Not every fic needs the exact same writing style, because at that point we will all be sounding like ChatGPT. Not every writer needs to sound intense or poetic, hilarious, or beautifully descriptive all the time. Different stories need different voices, and different writers bring different strengths. So the next time you look at someone's fic, instead of asking, how do I write like them? writing. Ask yourself, what can I learn from them while still sounding like myself? Maybe you borrow a technique. Maybe you pay attention to the dialogue rhythm. Maybe you try cutting extra lines from a scene. But you don't have to turn your whole story into someone else's style. Your voice is not supposed to arrive fully formed. It's slowly created by simply writing more. And you can't create it if you keep abandoning it every time you read someone else's fic. This is one of the many reasons I've been working on a fan fiction workbook behind the scenes for the past couple of months. A lot of the worksheets are built around the exact problems we've been talking about on this channel lately. Overthinking, comparison, imperfection, perfectionism, unfinished fic, too many ideas, and figuring out how to actually get back into writing again when your brain is fighting you the entire time. The workbook should be available in early July if everything goes according to plan, which is both exciting and slightly terrifying. But I think it's going to be so helpful for you guys, and I am excited to share more about it soon. The last thing I want to say is that you need practical boundaries, because not every comparison spiral can be solved by just thinking better thoughts. We all have those days where that is just not possible. Trust me, I do too. Sometimes what you really need to do is just stop putting yourself in the exact situation that makes you feel worse. If you know that reading a certain writer's fic right before drafting makes you feel like your own fic is terrible, maybe you don't need to read them before writing. Read them later, enjoy them later, study them later, but don't use their best chapter as your warm-up before trying to write your rough scene. You're going to see the difference in quality in a very dramatic way, and it's not going to feel good or encouraging. If checking stats makes you feel anxious, do not check them before you write. I'm going to be honest and say I do not check my YouTube analytics every day, because if I did, then I'd base all my creative ideas and worth of my channel all on numbers that I cannot control. That wouldn't get me anywhere. Once these videos are out, I'm on to the next one. This is none of my business anymore. I did what I could do, and that's exactly what you need to do with your fan fiction. You write what you can and you enjoy it while you're doing it, and you enjoy any readers that you get, any comments and everything like that. But afterwards, don't try to dwell on anything that did not happen the way you wanted it to, or mistakes that you made. It's time for you to write more. You are allowed to protect the part of your brain that is still trying to create something out of nothing. It's not avoidance either. It's basic creative hygiene. Keep that little noodle up there in check. So when comparison starts getting loud, just come back to one question. What is my next small step? It may be write the paragraph, fix that one line of dialogue, outline the next scene, reread the last chapter, leave a note for future you. Do something, anything that helps you return back to your work. Because the goal is never to win against another writer, okay? We're all winning here. We win together. The goal is to keep writing your own fic and enjoy it while you do. So if you find yourself comparing your fan fiction to other writers, I don't want that to make you feel like you're being petty or insecure or dramatic. Comparison happens, but you don't have to let it decide what your own writing is worth. Your fic just needs room to exist and to grow, to reach the readers who are eventually going to connect with it. So let other writers inspire you and let them teach you. Let them remind you of what is possible, but then come back to your own draft, because your fic still deserves to be written. If this helped you, I'd love to hear what you usually compare most. Is it writing style, comment amount, kudos amount, update frequency, popularity, or just something else? And if you enjoy talking about fan fiction, writing, fandom culture, and how to make the writing process a little bit less overwhelming, feel free to like this video, subscribe, and share it if you can. Also, if you want early access to future videos before they go public, plus access to members-only Q&A and fan fiction advice videos, you are always welcome to join the Support the Archive membership on my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.